Let's go to San Antonio and Dallas in Wembenyama's debut. Early foul trouble really took him out of things. Grant Williams is a funky matchup for him, right? Grant Williams is kind of a funky matchup for a lot of people in the league. How strong and how low center of gravity he is for a big kind of. He's kind of a big. He guards bigs, right? And then he's just an odd matchup, right? So that wasn't, surprising to see him get in foul trouble. Jeremy Sohan is a wild boy, right? And you see this tall ball that Pop has rolled out there. Sohan is kind of like, what is he? It's like if Oubre and Rondo had a baby, but hopefully he's a little more Rondo than Oubre. But him at playing the point guard or this big point forward position, he's just a little too shot happy. He's a little over ambitious with the type of shots he likes to take. I can see the playmaking. I see that part of his game, but you'd like him to be a little more conservative with his own shot making. And there were several times where Wemby was like visibly frustrated, like, give me the ball, fam. Give me the ball. Like, you don't know what this is. You ain't look around here yet. You know what I mean? And then it dawned on me that, it could be on purpose. Like they know they're trying to accelerate his playmaking and they're just willing to live with the fact that, it's going to be rough and they don't necessarily have to win right now. Who's grooming Pop, by the way? Like what's is he using a Floby? Like I'm trying to scroll my notes here. Bear with me with the new setup I have. Okay, there we go. Yeah, Pop. Again, I don't know if it's the Floby or what, but the other thing that I wanted to talk about with San Antonio was Devin Vassell, Florida State. Y'all know I liked him that year coming out of Florida State. I think it's time we acknowledge Florida State has a type right there, like that's a thing. Terrence Mann, Devin Vassell, Scotty Barnes, and the list is continuing to grow. When you get a kid out of Florida State, they're going to defend. They're going to play with a high motor, right? And it's starting to become a little bit of a factory down there, which is kind of surprising, but it is what it is. He's just getting better and better and better, where he looks like he could be Wemby's sidekick. And, I really like him. I really like him. Now, Wemby was, what do you have, like 6 points? I think he made like 2 threes, but he had only played like 15 minutes. He comes back in the fourth quarter, like 7-8 minutes to go. They're down a little bit, and he starts getting buckets. And the way the crowd responded was wild. Like, you can feel the hope in the city of San Antonio around Wembenyama. It was cool to just see the crowd and that atmosphere of him getting going. And I think what's even more important is clearly he wants the ball in the clutch, and listen, there's a lot of guys in the NBA that want the ball in the clutch that shouldn't. It's like, no, fam, that ain't for you, right? Sohan probably, but that's so important for someone of his status. We just got done talking about Mobley. Mobley don't want the ball at all. You know what I mean? So I think it's very important that crunch time, clearly Wemby wants the ball. That's and you can see how effective and how unstoppable he can be once they figure out how to get him the ball in his spots. But Grant Williams was all in his shit, was all up under his hips, right? Here's the thing. They're going to lose a lot of games in the final 2 minutes. Now they have Trey Jones, one of the Jones brothers, point guards, right? But they're very young overall, and you can tell they're going to hang. They're going to hang. They got a lot of good things going for them, but I think they're going to have a hard time closing games. They're going to take a lot of lumps in the final 2 minutes, and you saw that against this much more experienced Luka team. Luka, did you see the cop handlebar mustache? Why he looks like a cop out there? It's so funny how every summer it's like, oh, Luka's in the gym. Look how fit he is. And then he shows up and he's got the same physique, right? But he's got the same dominant game. And look, to me, I've probably said this several times, but Luka is clearly the best of the young players. Now, I don't know quite where to put Jokic. I feel like Jokic is like off in his own, like, He's at the top right now, right? We got to give him that, but he's not. What is he? 28. So I guess technically you could call him a young player. But I'm not putting Jokic in this list. I'm talking about Tatum, Booker, Ja, Ant, Trey Young, like that list, like the under 30s of these young stars. To me, if you're saying all things are even, they're all healthy in this conference finals. It's a playoff conference finals. Give me Luka. Give me Luka. And they all have question marks, right? They all like Luka's durability and his again his willingness to be in shape, right? His longevity and for being in shape. They all have questions, but give me Luka. Right now, Derek Lively Jr. Listen, when I pride myself on this. We all have misses, but when I have actual time to really dig into a prospect, I rarely miss. Y'all know that I wanted Derek Lively, and he already opening night looks better than half the centers in the league. Like the true big men, like true 7-footers, he's already looks better than half of them, right? And 16 and 10, 31 minutes off the bench. Kid concerns me with some of his relationships. Like he seems to hold grudges against his players at times. So I don't know, but he seems committed to Lively. More importantly, the fit with Luka. And what you saw was, and as he adjusts to playing with Luka and his rhythm and stuff like that, what Luka started doing that was super slick was he would gather with one hand and like show the ball as he takes his gather steps. And what it would do was it was letting Lively track the ball before it was out of his hands. Because you know how Luka will he'll pump fake this way. He fools the defense so well. Sometimes he fools his own teammates as far as like where the ball is going to go. And so he started showing the ball early and extending it out. And what it was doing was it was letting Lively track the ball before he actually threw the lob. And then what it also did was you haven't probably seen him have that many lobs. It preserves Luka. He has 4 or 5 plays where he can just get downhill and just flip up the lob. That's less energy spent. And then there was a couple times where he the vertical threat of the lob, let him just cruise in and flip in a layup without all the like irking and jerking and pump faking. So it's a match made in heaven, and I'm salty. I'm a little salty. Look, I think we're kind of overlooking this Mavericks team. I had already brought up Grant Williams and the unique matchups that he presents. He had 17, a couple big threes down the stretch, guarded Wemby, gave him troubles. And, it makes you, I know people are excited about Boston and Drew Holiday in this, but you could make the argument they lost their 3 toughest players. Marcus Smart, Grant Williams, and Rob Williams. To me, were kind of the tough guys, the physical, dirty work guys. You lost all 3 of them. That's not to say they haven't added more talent, but that's what I was thinking about watching Grant in the fit with Dallas. I think it's a great fit, not only on the court, but as someone we know, he's kind of a weird personality, an annoying guy in a way, right? But you need that. You need someone that's not afraid to challenge Luka, another player. Right? Kyrie's so full of shit and woo-woo. He'd be too passive aggressive and subtle with whatever message he was trying to get across to Luka. You need a guy on the team that's not afraid to say, hey, Luka, man, you're playing like a slob right now, bro. Like, pick it up. And so I think that's important. And I think we're kind of overlooking the moves that Dallas has made and where they can land in this Western Conference if Kyrie decides to play all season long. Detroit almost stole one in Miami last night down in South Beach. They lost by 1. They were trailing the whole game, and they almost stole it. They had a late rally. Cade Cunningham, 30 ball, 4 of 8 from 3-point range. And that's the story with him. First off, is he healthy? Because he did have the leg or the shin injury or whatever it was. But if the 3 ball can be where you hope it would be, everything else is there for him to take a step into being like, hell, maybe even an all-star. We know guys get robbed out of that every year, but he should be in the conversation this year. And so they rallied there and almost stole that game. The other stat of note, Kyle Lowry, 1 shot attempt, 0 points in 32 minutes. Damn, right? But what about James Wiseman? DNP coach's decision. He's not even in the rotation. And listen, Here is my advice to you Wiseman stands. Here's what it is. It's like LeBron's hair, right? Just have some dignity and let it go. Let's let it go. I'm willing to let it go. Y'all let it go. Okay?